Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode, where nothing is easy, here to bring you my review of KCD2. It has been a minute since we played KCD2. I know it's probably been almost a month since the game came. Well, no, it's been a while since the game came out, but it's been a minute since I've been talking about KCD2 with all of you. But I wanted to give you guys a good review, something that there's no holding back. There's brutal honesty with everything that I'm doing with KCD2 with you here today. We just finished KCD2. I didn't put everything on my channel of every single thing that I did on KCD2. I think I'm gonna stop flooding you guys with videos. I apologize for that. I'll probably do a whole streaming playlist of a bigger chunk instead of giving you multiple videos, big videos of KCD2. How about I just give you a playlist on the side where I just stream it? That's how I'm gonna do it from now on. But anyway, let's get back to it. I want to give you my honest review of this wonderful game that I'm gonna introduce to you. My KCD adventure started like months prior to 2024. I saw the dev team come to my channel and enjoy the game. I didn't get any sort of special treatment, just people wanted to see whether or not I liked the game and how I would react to certain events in the game. And now we're in KCD2, and you know, some of the developers have checked this out, seeing how we were doing, how, you know, if we still enjoy the game, and of course we did. And overall, there's been some controversy, there's been some ups and downs, but overall, when I got my hands on KCD2, I had a wonderful fucking time, let me tell you.
Welcome to the best spots in Gutenberg, and the drinks are on the house.
Hey! Nice! Hey! What the fuck? You know you want to come in, old ass bitch. But yeah, the growth and the love and support that you guys have been giving me, I do appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that I give you guys a really awesome review, you know, fun laughs and, you know, honesty and all. And just, you know, I'm not going to shy away from any sort of topics when it comes to this. So anyway, here is my review on KCD2. Let's start off with the gameplay first of all. The combat first and foremost is an absolute improvement. With my father's sword!
I feel quite hungry!
No. Where the fuck do you think you're going? Huh? Fucking humans and shit. To the previous game. I don't ever want to go back to the previous game unless I feel nostalgic, but there's a few bumps in certain things that I didn't want back in the combat. Like sometimes when you run up at enemies and then hit them with a sword or an axe or something, it doesn't register for some odd reason. But overall, for the combat is way smoother. It doesn't feel like, you know how in KCD1, if you've ever played KCD1, it felt like enemies would just run up at you and put their forehead right on your forehead. And I'm just like, what's going on? I feel like I'm being like molested. What the fuck is going on? But that doesn't happen anymore. Now each and every character or enemy that you fight in combat is what's the word I'm looking for? They're more alert now. They try to pick and choose whether or not they'll attack you. If you are being bombarded and actually getting hit, another person will come over and then hit you. But if you're heavily guarded and you're well equipped to like take care of guards, parries, counterattacks with your attacks, you are well shielded, they will take their time. And I absolutely like that. That's a definite improvement. The previous game, none of the enemies cared about their life. They just threw all their men on you, all of them, and they just twirled you around down a hill. And I was just like, it was horrible. Now, a lot of people would say that it's a lot easier, but only that means that they are doing their job well. And I think it comes to nobody's surprise that if the game previously, which a lot of people agree, it was a buggy mess with the combat. But now that the game, the combat is a lot cleaner, people are going to get used to that combat, especially if you played the previous game. That's just how it is. And especially with hardcore mode coming out maybe in like a week from now, from this video, I am going to see a build-up of that said combat. And because I can understand, because I'm really good at the combat, because I played more, because I gotta be honest, if I'm good, things will get easy. That's just how it is. If you're a gamer and you play games, especially games tied to this sort of combat, and you play the game and you say it's easy, it's like, of course it is. You are well equipped for this type of stuff. If you play a Souls game, you're gonna be good at the next Souls game. Let's move on from combat. Let's move to exploration. The overall state of the areas is way vast. There's 2 gigantic maps in this game, which I guess I can discuss them because they were introduced in a trailer. One of them's going to be Trotsky, and the other one's going to be Kutenberg. Trotsky's a little bit smaller, but Kutenberg area is way larger. And by the way, when I mean Trotsky's smaller, that doesn't mean anything. Trotsky's huge, okay? Trotsky's got a lot. I feel like when I play the game a second time with you guys, we're gonna see things that we haven't seen in the first playthrough. It's just gonna happen. It's just how this game is portrayed. The beauty of this game, these developers, the setting and the beauty of this game is downright amazing. You will have ambient videos of just you watching people fishing, which you can't fish in this game. You're gonna see beautiful vistas of ponds that you can't swim in. Yeah, Henry can't swim. It's just I wish he could swim and I wish he could fish, but whatever. It is what it is. But each area, there's like villages, there's campsites, there's carriages that you can take to go from one place to another. You can interact with each and every one of these individuals. It is fleshed out to where it's a believable, immersive world, and that's what I wanted. Each and everything that you do around the world affects somebody in some sort of way. I don't mean you picking flowers and then somebody's going to die or something like that. Oh man, you picked up this piece of bread. Now somebody can't eat. Now, if you take somebody's clothes in this game, they're gonna wake up in the morning and they'll notice that their stuff is stolen, and now they're walking around with barely any clothes off. That's how reactive the game is. Some people might even say a little too reactive, but I digress. Yes. Apply it to the... Maker's perfect. Yes.
Would you like something with me? Here's something to drink.
Please tell me you're giving him the right drink, though. Oh, both of them are? Both of them.
I was pretty damn thirsty. Bottoms up.
Oh. Oh. That's the face Henry made. The roleplay in this game is well fleshed out from the previous game. In KCD 1, there were sort of things that you could have interacted and chose, which was kind of interesting. But in this one, it did what I said I wish they did in the first one, where I wish they would react to the way you look, and I wish they could react to, like, I wish you could not only persuade somebody, kind of like Paragon and Renegade, where you definitely want to point across, but you want to do it in a sort of a different way. One side, you can do it where you can charm somebody or be persuasive and kind. On the other side, you could be dominant and you can be sort of forceful, you know, that sort of style. But it all depends on how you look, and it all depends on how you sound, and also might even depend on whether or not you have a reading level or not. All of these things sort of take effect. If you are covered in blood and you got rusted up armor and you try to dominate the conversation of a certain individual into the game, and also make sure that you have a weapon. If you don't have a weapon and you're still bloody, it'll still count for something, but if you don't have a weapon, it's not gonna be as much. Now, if you have a bloody axe and bloody armor, then people will think twice, because that all sort of takes into effect. So what if you're bloody? If you don't have some sort of sword and shield or a giant pole axe or something, you gotta look threatening for the part, which I find really, really fascinating, because I think also for certain characters, whether or not that person is male or female also takes into effect. You notice that Henry as a male can be more easily dominate a conversation between a woman easier, not completely, but if he's covered in blood and he's holding a mace or something like that and he's talking to a female and he's trying to, you know, steer the conversation towards, you know, telling them what to do and dominate the conversation, a female who is alone most likely will agree with you, but you'll lose reputation for that. But however, if you try to persuade that lady, you're not covered in blood and straw and stuff, and you try to appeal to her empathy, her kindness, you'll get reputation gained. There's a reputation thing with each sort of area, village, what's the hierarchy, all of these sort of things, you know, depending on what sort of clan they're into, you know, there's that sort of area that I find kind of interesting. Overall, what I'm trying to say is the game is highly reactive, and they've upgraded it from KCD 1 to KCD 2, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait for the DLCs to come out, because I'll probably have more gameplay to show you guys later, but it is definitely something to where when I go inside a castle, when I go inside a village, when I do certain things with certain people, I actually think in my head, like, oh, should I even do this, because the people that I'm with don't want me to fool around, you know, that sort of thing. Because overall, these characters in this game, they are really well done and really well written. Absolutely great. Absolutely like fantastic characters that you actually will have You know how hard it is to be in the film industry, or not be in the film industry, but to see a film these days, or see a what's the word I'm looking for? A TV show, or play a different game. All these sort of access media journalists, people like to do all this flowery shit with certain TV shows and film and video games, and they're like, this game shows me the beauty of a clear river in the sunlight, dew, and honeyberry, and I'm like, what kind of flowery shit is this? Is the game good or not? Are the characters believable or not? Lo and behold, you see the game that they were, fawning over, and the characters are so one-dimensional. Not in KCD 2. There are many characters in KCD 2 that I actually enjoy and also hate, but still enjoy seeing them. That's where we're gonna get to in the story section of this review. Let's start off with the characters. The characters in this game are so fantastic. I can't tell whether or not I like Dry Devil. I can't tell whether or not I like Zizka. I can't tell whether or not I like whoever the voice actor is for Von Berghoff. Whoever he is a fucking genius. Dry Devil, Zizka, and Von Berghoff clearly wiped the floor with KCD2. They were gods.
Cibo da queste parti fa un po' cagare. Ma che diavolo? Come cazzo vi permettete? Eh?
Sit the fuck down.
I love Zizka. In this whole thing, in Von Berghoff had that sort of tendency to give you like, you don't want to fuck with this man. Even the Chamberlain, that booming voice that he has, that dominating voice, the Chamberlain with Von Berghoff, even he had a presence of a regal gentleman like the character is. And each and every one of these characters that I enjoy or hated, what brought in the life of this game. I mean, I could talk about the music as well. Like, the music's great, okay? Listen, whoever's working on the music, whoever you are, I think I saw you on one of my videos. Listen, just show up and everybody loves you, and then you can, enjoy our food, have a drink with you, have a beer, and then he's like, we love that guy. He's the star child. Nobody hates the star child. All the people that worked on the music in this game, we just love having you here. The music is great. I listen to it when I'm at work. It's great. But let's go back to the characters. I can't tell whether or not which character that I like, but I do like the sort of rat pack that goes with the Dry Devil and everybody like that. Is this considered a spoiler? No, they had a trailer with them in it. No, did they? I apologize if I just showed you guys, like, if you were ready for this game, you already know who's coming by. This video is a little bit late on the whole review spectrum, okay? So I think I can spoil it a teeny bit. But yes, Zizka and Dry Devil are in this game. I apologize. I probably should have said something. Let's continue. These characters are amazing, along with some of the females that are actually in this game. Catherine, Rose. I wish they brought Teresa back, but it is what it is. I think there is a chance for you to see Teresa, but I don't know that. I don't know for sure. Let me know down below. I would love to know. But there are many male and females, because there's only two genders, in this game that are fantastic, and they bring life to this game. Absolutely good job. I remember ESO posting the script and the long thread of the fucking script was huge. I get it now. And also, you know, whenever you see a script that large and you think that everything is just going to be filler or fluff, no, that whole script is a gold mine. You don't see that anymore. Usually when you see a big script like that, you're just like, oh, so it's just going to be a whole bunch of nonsense and only a little bit is going to be important. No, not at all. Anyway, let's continue with, because I like to touch up on the lore of most video games, and I gotta tell you, Czech has a lot of lore to it. I'm not gonna try to get into details. I'm not a lore channel, but there are many moments where I read the overall stuff that's in the UI, that's in the HUD. If you go over there, there's a whole index and codex area that is beautifully well done. The most beautiful HUD UI. I am a sucker for beautiful UIs and HUDs. I'm a sucker. But anyway, moving on. The codex tells you so much about Czech and its lore and its background, and it let me just say, I'm putting money to the side to go to Czech. That's all I'm saying. Be it for the food, be it for the drinks, be it for the women. I want to see the scenery. I've seen a beautiful church up there in Gutenberg I would like to visit. I'm putting money down to go visit that place because a lot of these buildings, and you guys have worked your ass off. You guys have worked your ass off to like build something that stems from its realistic counterpart. Like, the buildings are obviously run down right now. Some of them are restored, but you'll notice that if you look at them two together, it's just like you guys tried to take some creative like liberties to make sure that the buildings like had that sort of look at that time period. Obviously the buildings would be up if they were back in, you know, in this time period of the 1500s, but now in 2025, some of those buildings are destroyed, some of those buildings are dilapidated, and some of those buildings are restored. I think that level of, what's the word I'm looking for? I know I'm grabbing random things that are on my table. Shut the fuck up. This is what I do when I think. But I think that the level of detail that they took with the Czech history is very, very well done. That shows me that developers really do care about the product that they're giving us. They are not looking up on Wikipedia and they're just like, so what do they do back then? Oh, they do that? Oh yeah, put it in the game. And then they talk to a couple of people and they're like, yeah, we did this back in the day. We did this. And I'm just like, you would play that said game and you're like, this is not what they did. These people weren't here. The clothing that they wear, it's all wrong. Not with this game. There are some creative liberties here and there. There is some clothing that some people will be like, this clothing wasn't available at that time period, or this sort of, you know, overall look of these characters are not in these sort of, you know, there's creative liberties, okay? And that's fine. I am okay with that. But I gotta say, after looking at the clothing, the way the people dress, even the fancy outfits that you see before you, it brings a whole new level to, I'm gonna have to put some side money on the side and get some of this clothing. I want to get myself a Gamazin. I want to get the proper shoes. I want to get the proper hat. Maybe have myself a nice sword on that's sheathed up and on the side. By the way, I'm a sucker. I'm a slut for belts. I'm a slut. I'm a slut for belts. Every time when I switch my weapon and there's a different kind of belt that's really in high detail in this game, I'm just like, ooh, I like that belt. Ooh, I like that sheath. Oh, it goes with my clothes. And oh shoot, with the haircut stuff now, with the, oh man, looks like his father. There's a lot of passion for fashion in this game that I absolutely love, and it is shown in such a good light for this whole story. The whole So the whole like world building gives you like a good taste of like, this is the time period, this is the setting, this is how things were done, this is what people wore, this is what would happen if you look like this or that. There's a good, when you put on clothing, when you put on armor, you have to make sure that you put on the gambazin and certain padding first before you put on the helmet. Now some people will be like, well, why would you want to do that? Why can't I just put on whatever I want? They are giving you the beauty and the illusion, because obviously this is not real. They're giving you this sense of immersion in this game where you are living and breathing in this world, and I find it absolutely fascinating. Anyway, let's point off to the controversy. The controversy right now with, well, it's actually, to be honest, it fucking died out, okay? It died out. It was there, and then it slowly died out, and a lot of people, see, I'm a firm believer in not only people having freedom of expression, freedom to have artistic design, but I don't want to have anything political pandering or something like that. I want to have a game where gamers are going to have fun, not have this sort of flowery hippy dippy bullshit where they're trying to tell me how I should feel. Nobody wants that sort of thing. Two things that were upsetting for people. One was Mali, which, by the way, the developers gave us this information before the game came out, which is something I want to bring up later. They gave us the information that Mali is a pretty much he's hired, but he's pretty much a slave to Sigismund, and he was hired to be in the infirmary. He's a medical man, and he has his own beliefs. He has his own set of ways that he believes, in his sort of point of view. And that sort of, when I was introduced to this character, Mali, I had this firm belief like, okay, well, what is it gonna do? And I agreed with it. Because if you were gonna be living in some place where you love your area, I love my area, this is where I live, it's better than where you live. I do that all the time too. I love America. Yes, Czech is beautiful, but I love where I live. If I ever want to move to Czech, that's cool, but I do love America. This is my home. This is where my parents lived. This is where my grandpa, and grandmother passed away. I still love my country. And for somebody to come in, one black guy, it's fine. Now, people like to point out, it was like, well, he said that there were no black people in, Daniel Vavris said that there were no black people in Bohemia. He was right. He said black people. That's plural. He's just one black person. That's it. There were no black people. He was one person who was carried over. He has a certain set of skills, kind of Liam Neeson, a certain particular set of skills, and he gets things done in a certain way. And the story, if you ever play this game, if you ever get a chance to play this game, it is interesting how they show off this character. And I'm not going to say anything, but after hearing more about this character, he was more believable, and I actually kind of liked him. He was actually alright. Now, some of you racist motherfuckers are going to say something where like, well, of course the black guy liked the black guy. Shut the fuck up, you dumbass motherfucker, okay? I ain't gonna hear this shit all day. Just say the thing and then move the fuck on, alright? You ain't worth shit to me. I only care about story, authenticity, a growing, you can be white, black, whatever you want, as long as it brings something to the table. And he did bring something to the table. The immersion was still there, the story was still there, the setting, the whole thing was still there for me. and I absolutely love that. The character actually was really well voiced, by the way. I'm not sure who the individual was, but really nice voice. Other than that one, there's also the gay romance, and that's between Hans Capone, and that's between Henry and your main character and Hans. And so I thought for a second, like, why is that in there? And then I thought for a second, and I was like, oh, it's an option. Okay, I'm okay with it being an option as long as it's authentic to the time period, as long as it makes sense. I was hoping that there would be, because Daniel Vavris stated that it was a forbidden thing, but it didn't feel very forbidden to me. Now, you're gonna get a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit and Blue Sky with hashtag Hansry. Yeah, I'm nice drawings, guys, but yeah, not for me. I like art, but not for me. But, sorry, I like Catherine's tits. But, I just wanted to make sure that it was an authentic experience to the player, which is you. And I didn't see that. I saw the whole romance play out. Heaven forbid I gotta clean my eyes. But it wasn't really well done. All that it was, hey, bro, I like you too. And then Hans at the end was like, hey, have you ever heard of a story between two knights? And I was like, wait, that's it? And then at the end of the game, nothing really happened. They were chill about it. I'm looking for, I was hoping, in Four Horse, you're hearing this, I don't want to take your ideas away. If you want to put this in the game, that's cool. If it's an option, even greater. That's how it should be. It should be an option. But you want to know what's better than, for people that like this sort of thing, you know what they like more than romance? Drama. They fucking love drama. And you didn't give that to them. What you should have done for Hans is make it to where, after the deed was done, Hans just up and ignores Henry. Because sooner or later, Hans is gonna have to run Rattay. He's gonna have to get married to a woman. He, like in the lore, like in his past, he does have a son. He's going to have to pretend that Henry never existed. He was just a side fling. He's like, oh, Henry, yeah, never mention this again, otherwise I'll kill you. Something like that. Some sense of urgency where it's just heartbreaking. I want that sense of realism. I want the people to have that sense of, yes, it is indeed forbidden. But I didn't have that sort of sense of drama towards it. All they did was, like, close a door and start kissing, and then there was another moment, and then I was just like, oh, there's nothing, that's it? It's just kissing? I think the best romances were Teresa. Teresa's the best. Everybody loves Teresa, alright? Listen, this is what I think. On the level of romances, here's top tier to low tier. Top tier, Teresa, Catherine, Rosa, and then Hans. Hans is all the way at the end. We could talk about all these side hoes later, okay? They don't really matter, okay? You know what? No. I'm gonna put Clara right behind Teresa. I'm not gonna say anything. Clara's great. Clara's awesome. Clara is like second, and then Catherine, and then Rosa. I like Rosa, but there's really not much. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm just saying, you have to give people that sense of like emotion, that sense of drama that people enjoy. Like, for instance, Teresa saved Henry. Teresa actually feels like she's around there and there for you at all times. Whenever you need to lay your weary head, there is Teresa right there to patch you back up in case you need one. For Catherine has a strong background. Lovely voice, by the way. Great voice actor. Catherine has a lot to her that I didn't even, like, obviously didn't know, but there's a lot to her that just makes sense. It just makes sense. Rosa had, it's funny because Rosa, it was like, you could tell that even though she was a sort of noble, she knew a little bit about the streets. You know, the streets, you know what I mean? Quote, the streets. But she still had like a lack of understanding. You know, where it's just like, okay, she knows people, but not that much. She's still a noble. She's still at her wit's end sometimes. And when you romance her, it does feel like a sort of knight and a princess, you know, sort of, you know, wholesome sort of thing, which is actually kind of nice. For Hans, it didn't feel forbidden enough. It didn't feel like, oh man, we shouldn't be doing this. Oh man, we're gonna get caught. Oh, we really shouldn't do this. I can't believe we did this, Henry. Go away. No sense of urgency. And I think the audience deserves that. I know you did not do this for BlackRock and all this dumb shit. I think you just did it for the fans, but I think your fans deserve more. And I don't mean more butt fucking. I just mean more of an impact. That's the word I'm looking for. Impact. But is that going to bring any sort of negative to the score that I'm going to give you on KCD 2? No, not really. Every game, no game is perfect. That's fine. After I saw Catherine's tits, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this score a 10 out of 10. Okay? I'm going to give this game a 10 out of 10 because this game does bring out so much soul into this game. I can definitely tell that the developers love their audience way more than Access Media, than Jeff Keighley, than the award game show. Hell, I think they barely even care about a Bracer Group. All they care about is taking care of the fans because the fans were there. They were the ones that were there at the beginning, middle, and they're not even done yet. We got more shit on the way. And I think that's a great thing. This game is definitely game of the year to me. I think you guys should pick it up. If you want to wait a while and wait on a discount, it'll come. But until then, guys, I'm gonna leave that review here. Thank you so much for seeing this thing through all the way to the end. I think you're gonna have a wonderful time. But until then, until the next review, until I play this game on hard mode next week, I will see you guys next time. Take care now. Peace. Are you gonna stamina, sir?
You fellas took your sweet time.
You ungrateful son of a bitch. What's the matter? Been tugging your bone too much?
I'm still strong enough to get you on back.
Oh, that meme. Oh, that movie. I haven't seen it in a while.
Good old Simberg. Home sweet home, eh?